Al Reem Island may be one of the most important real estate stories in Abu Dhabi right now. Not because it is the most luxurious island, that would be Saadiyat. Not because it is the biggest entertainment destination, that would be Yas. Al Reem is interesting for a different reason. It is one of Abu Dhabi's deepest residential apartment markets. It is heavily tenant-driven. It sits right next to Al Maryah, and now it has been brought into the ADGM financial free zone. So the question is simple. Is Al Reem still a value opportunity? Al Reem Island sits just off the northeast coast of Abu Dhabi city, directly beside Al Maryah Island. It is a freehold investment zone, which means foreign investors can own properties there. And unlike some newer master plans that are still mostly a future promise, Al Reem is already a functioning residential island. It has towers, schools, malls, hospitals, parks, waterfront areas, restaurants, and a large existing tenant base. This matters because for investors, it is not only about future appreciation, it is also about liquidity. Can I rent it? Can I resell it? Is there an active market? Are people already living there? And Al Reem scores strongly on that. ADGM was originally focused on Al Maryah Island, but its jurisdiction has expanded to include Al Reem Island. And this expansion increases ADGM's footprint tenfold. By the end of 2025, ADGM had 12,671 active licenses, around 3,495 operational entities, 347 financial institutes, and a workforce of over 44,000 people. This changes the investment story. Before, Al Reem was mainly seen as a good value residential island close to the city. Now it is also the residential catchment for one of the fastest growing financial hubs in the region. Al Maryah Island alone will not be able to accommodate all of the people. That is a demand engine. A lot of them want modern apartments close to work, close to retail, close to the city, and that is where Al Reem really benefits. Now let's talk numbers. According to ADREC, Al Reem had 26,166 residential units in 2025. That includes 25,771 apartments and only 395 villas and townhouses. So this is an overwhelmingly apartment market. But the important part is the future supply. By 2030, ADREC projects another 9,757 units on Al Reem. That includes 8,121 apartments, 1,636 villas and townhouses. That is a major supply wave. And this is where investors need to be careful. Al Reem is not a low-supply micro-market like Al Maryah. It is one of the biggest future apartment supply districts in Abu Dhabi. ADREC says that Yas, Al Reem and Saadiyat together drive around 71% of projected apartment supply. So the opportunity is real, but the supply risk is also real. The reason I'm not bearish on Al Reem is because the demand side is also strong. ADREC's 2025 report shows that occupied residential units in Abu Dhabi region grew by 6.6% per year from 2022 to 2025. While supply grew by only 2.8% per year. That means demand has been growing faster than supply. And in a market like Al Reem, this shows up in three ways. First, rental demand. Second, resale liquidity. And third, price growth in the right buildings. ADREC also shows that Al Reem and Yas continue to capture around 40% of the total residential sales volume across key districts. That tells me Al Reem is not just a theoretical investment story, it is already one of the most active markets. Now, pricing. ADREC's project data shows newer Al Reem projects trading roughly between 1,850 to 2,600 dirhams price per square foot, depending upon the project. Projects like Canal Residence, Reem 8, Reem 9, El Isab Waterfront, One Reem Island, and Seamont all sit in that higher pricing band. Reem Hills villas and townhouses are shown around 930 to 1,200 dirhams per square foot. This still positions Al Reem below Abu Dhabi's ultra-prime waterfront markets. But from here, selection really matters. Al Reem is roughly a 6 to 7% blended gross yield market. Studios and one-bedrooms can reach 7.5 to 9% gross in the right buildings. But a 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom unit usually compress closer to 5.7 to 6% gross. And after service charges, net yield are usually around 1 to 1.5% lower. So for pure income, studio and one-bed are the sweet spot. For lifestyle and capital growth, 2 beds and prime waterfront units can still make sense, but the yields will usually be lower. The reason Al Reem works is not only numbers, it's livability. You have Reem Mall, Shams Boutique, Reem Central Park, Sorbonne University, schools, clinics, waterfront areas, and quick access to Al Maryah and Abu Dhabi. People do not only rent because it is affordable, They stay because their school, supermarket, gym, office, and social life are all nearby. Here is the risk. Al Reem has strong demand, but it also has a lot of supply coming. The market is strong enough to absorb the pipeline over the cycle, but not necessarily smoothly. The risk is concentrated around the handover wave from 2027 to 2030. That means rents may soften temporarily in specific buildings or clusters where many units hand over at the same time. So I would not buy blindly. I would look at developer track record, handover timing, service charges, view, walking distance to retail and schools, and connectivity. Also, unit size efficiency, and whether the payment plan gives enough room for resale or rental strategy. Al Reem may be one of the best combinations of liquidity, rental demand, and ADGM-driven upside, and still accessible entry points available. For investors, I'd favor 1 or 2 bedroom apartments for rental income. But it's important to remember that Abu Dhabi is a family-oriented city. The average household size is around 4.9 people, which supports long-term demand for larger homes as family grows. The opportunity is not simply, let me buy in Al Reem. The opportunity is buying the right unit at the right time before the full ADGM effect is completely priced in.